Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. Nerds of the North. Time for another Blu-ray review. And this time we're going to step into a little bit of a different area. I'm going to step into a product that was just released out of the vault. Okay, not just released out of the vault, but it came out of the vault last year. And if you know the term coming out of the vault, obviously that means it's Disney. So here you go with The Lion King. Now this is the Diamond Edition, which means it's going to have the Blu-ray and DVD in it. It's the highest edition of The Lion King that they came out with, without getting something that has a massive statue in it. I don't know if they made anyone like that, but this is the one that I picked up. Now, you're thinking, okay, it's an animated Disney film. Is it really going to look that much different on Blu-ray? Your jaw will be on the floor when you see the quality that this film is when it's on Blu-ray. I swear, I'm not lying. I've watched the VHS numerous times. Never owned the DVD. So just from VHS to Blu-ray, wow. Just wow. Because they do so much with the sound, getting it reworked, because you don't think that they just pull these out of the vault and go, well, we're not touching them, here you go. No, they touch these up. They obviously do. The colors are so vibrant, so vivid. It's unbelievable to see with your own eyes. And when you look at special features for this, while you do have the DVD copy of here in here as well, you get a memoir for Don Hahn, one of the people who worked on the project. That's really the only special feature that is part of the DVD. It's on the Blu-ray, where you get the rest of the DVD, where you get the rest of the bonus features. Sorry, twisted the tongue. You get 4 never-before-seen deleted scenes. Okay, deleted scenes happen, even in animated films. Sometimes, a storyboard gets left on the cutting room floor. And over the years, they decide, you know what? Animate out that storyboard. Let's see where it goes. Sometimes you might only get the storyboard. I know in Frozen, some of the deleted scenes are just a storyboard. But this is not bad. I'm not going to show off what the deleted scenes are, because you might want to watch them yourself, and they're fun to enjoy. But here's where it gets me, okay? Never before seen bloopers. Bloopers. On an animated film. That means someone decided to have a fun time. And I don't know if you can see the picture on the back, but I'm going to show it to you. Right there in the center. See the one with Rafiki where he's supposed to be walking Simba up to the top of the Pride Rock? Yeah, apparently he trips and he throws Simba off Pride Rock. Some animator is having a fun time. That's what that was. There is a deleted song, a whole extra song in here. I can see why they cut it. It wasn't really all that good. I put it around the same spot as We'll Be Human Again, the deleted song for Beauty and the Beast, which first time I heard it, I was just like, what is this? What are you doing in my favorite Disney movie? No, out, go back to the cutting room floor. It was a weird experience. You get an extended edition of The Morning Report, so that is an extended scene. This movie is slightly longer. Obviously, the extended edition of The Morning Report is, I'm pretty sure, where the deleted song comes from. It's been a couple of years since been a year since I've seen this movie, but it's time for it to talk about, so that's why I'm talking about it. Yeah, you obviously, the main thing you get with Disney a lot of the time is you always get a sing-along mode. This is going to happen. Let's face it, Disney's the theater for kids. You're going to get sing-along modes. And I don't mind them. Because the Disney movies that I have in my collection, I have a really hard time not singing along to them. I'm 31, and I have a hard time not singing along to some of these songs. For crying out loud, if you've listened to our Nerds of the North radio show on 102.7 Chop FM. If you ever hear that, when we play it live, you'll know we play a lot of Disney music. It's because the songs are honestly kind of good. Like just last week, we ended up playing I'll Make a Man Out of You from Mulan. That song is really good. It's really catchy. Right? And you'll be humming a lot of Disney songs for a long time. Don't believe me? If you don't believe me, pop on Lion King. Watch it once. And you're going to be humming either Be Prepared, Hakuna Matata, Can You Feel the Love Tonight, or Circle of Life. One of those four songs is going to get stuck in your head, and you're going to be humming along to it at work. And then you're going to suddenly stop and go, damn, Elton John put an earworm in my head again. Because with Disney, with The Lion King, it was one of the Elton John projects. He did a lot of the musical score for this. Him and Tim Rice. Fantastic score. But yeah, if you haven't seen this movie since you were a kid, you owe it to yourself to pick up. If you are debating on whether or not it's even worthwhile hunting down the Diamond Edition, because it's got the classic little, vault, limited time only. I don't know if it's still out in stores. Probably is. But you can pretty much trust in the fact that whenever Disney releases one of their vault films, it's worthwhile to pick up. Clearly is worthwhile to pick up. And since this review's a little shorter, because there's not really much to talk about with this, I have some other Disney reviews that I'm going to be putting all into one. So what are we talking about next? How about a film that is getting ready to be re-released for next year? Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's The Jungle Book. This film is one that I watched all the time whenever I was sick. I was home, I wake up in the night, or I couldn't go to sleep because I was sick as a kid. This movie went on, and I'd fall asleep to listening to Baloo, listening to Bagheera, Mowgli, King Louie, Shere Khan, Kaa, General Hati, I love this film. I love a lot of the old Disney films. These are my Disney Renaissance. A lot of people say it starts with Aladdin. While I do agree Aladdin deserves to be in the Disney Renaissance, and it is one of my favorite Disney films, I cannot deny the awesomeness of The Jungle Book. Now this is the Diamond Edition as well, so Blu-ray and DVD plus a digital HD copy. And you have 2 hours of bonus features. 2 hours on an animated film that's runtime is only 78 minutes long. There's more special features on here than the runtime of the actual movie. Recently pulled up from the cutting room floor, you have the alternate ending to this film. You have a documentary about Mowgli, the music and the memories of the film. You have I Want to Be Like You, hanging out in the Disney's animated kingdom. You get special introductions from Diane Disney Miller and Richard M. Sherman. There's a lot of little mini games for the kids. There's a behind the scenes with Disney's animators to see just what work went into getting this done. And of course, what Disney film would it be without karaoke? To the point of, there you go, karaoke. All the words come up on the screen for you to sing along with the song. But Bare Necessities, that song's long, and that song's an earworm. Earworm. This is a term that's coming to mind every time you think of a classic Disney film. Because usually you're coming back to it through a song. You'll remember a scene, go, that's great, I want to see that again. And it comes through to you in a song. So, yeah, this has been upgraded to the 7.1 audio, because it's one of the newer releases. It's worthwhile. The Blu-ray quality, you can tell still that this is an older animated film. But the update to Blu-ray works. It's not a horrible update. It's actually pretty good. So, you know, good solid rating on the video here. Audio, the audio is great. This is one of the best voice-acted Disney films of its time. This is an old Disney film. Like, yeah, okay, I was just talking about The Lion King. And The Lion King's new. The Lion King was 1994. Alright? This was in the 70s. If not earlier. So, it's an old Disney movie. And that's why it was such a big thing when it came back out of the vault to be released. Moving on for another one. And first time ever this has been on Blu-ray. It's kind of a trend with a lot of Disney films. Unless it's a Disney film that came out when Blu-ray was already out, a lot of these are going to be the first time on Blu-ray. Just makes sense. This is one that I bought the Diamond Edition. There was a smaller edition than the Diamond, and I wasn't going to get it. But I love the soundtrack to this movie so much, and I wanted the soundtrack, that the only way to get the soundtrack was to buy the Diamond. So I picked it up. The Little Mermaid Diamond Edition. The reason I didn't want to get the Diamond Edition is because I have no need for a 3D Blu-ray. I don't have a 3D TV. I don't particularly like 3D. So I spent that extra $5, $10 simply so I could have the soundtrack. And the soundtrack is great. I don't really care for the instrumental music. While the instrumental music is fantastic and it suits the film perfectly, without watching the film, I don't need to see it. What I do want to see, and what I do want to listen to, is Part of Your World, Under the Sea, Poor Unfortunate Soul, Kiss the Girl. These are the songs that I love from The Little Mermaid, and I want to hear them again. That's why I ended up going this route and getting the soundtrack. Now, this film, 3 hours of additional features. And remember, this film is an older Disney film. Right? Little Mermaid was early 90s. Very early 90s. It predates The Lion King, at least. And might actually be an 80s film, to be perfectly honest with you. So you get a music video with Carly Rae. I don't like covers of Disney music. If I want to hear... the only covers of Disney music that I actually can tolerate are the ones that Elton John does off of the Lion King soundtrack. That's it. Otherwise, if a Disney character sung the song, that's the voice actor I want to hear singing the song. I don't care about the other ones. So, the fact that this has a music video with someone else singing the song, I'm sorry, you're not Ariel. You're just not. The woman who is Ariel does show up on this because they actually dedicate a certain part of the new Disney Little Mermaid ride or interactive show, whatever it is, to her, and she autographs one of the pieces that hangs up in the ceiling. But it's Jodie Bess. It's right here, the Jodie Besson's Voyage to a New Fantasyland, and it's showing her behind the scenes, actually filming the Little Mermaid, and her growing up with her kids, and her kids growing up with Ariel on the ride. It's like, okay, well, we're on the ride, and look, I'm waving at Ariel, but I know my mom's Ariel. So it's kind of weird that way, right? But it's... You do get... no, I will say this. The special features on these Disney films, they're not there for the kids. They're not. They're there for the parents that grew up with these films. That's where the special features are. No kid cares about the special features. Maybe the sing-along and the karaoke. You can put that on for the kid. But kids aren't going to care. They're not going to care who Jodie Besson is. All they're going to care about is Ariel. All they're going to care about is Flounder, Sebastian, King Triton, Ursula. That's who they care about in the movie. They don't care about who the actual voice actor is. And hopefully when they grow up, they learn to appreciate just who those voice actors are. And find them in other things. Find them in other works and see what they can do. Because a lot of these voice actors do move on to other things. And you can track the voice through different shows. If you know what to look for. Or if you just have that good of an ear to be able to point out who is who. But yeah, definitely one that's worthwhile to be added into the collection. Even if I only really bought it for the soundtrack, I'm not disappointed. I've watched it 2 or 3 times already. It's great. I like having it. One last one here to add on into the Disney block here. A little bit of a straying off of the normal. This is my absolute favorite Muppet movie. And I'm not talking Muppets Most Wanted. I'm not talking The Muppets. Not Muppets Take Manhattan. Not Muppets in Space. No, not Muppets Treasure Island. Not The Muppets Christmas Carol. The Muppet Movie. The original. From 1979. The original Muppet Movie. It is outstanding. I love this film. You want to hear earworms? Rainbow Connection. Moving right along. These songs are going to get stuck in your head. Scenes are going to get stuck in your head. Like, who doesn't remember Gonzo floating through the air on the balloons while being chased, while Kermit and them are trying to track him down. Meanwhile, they're being chased by Doc Hopper. Right? It's something that just sticks in your mind. This is a fantastic movie. Really gets across the Muppets perfectly well. Yes, I know there was issues on set during the making of it. There was some strife back and forth. But not just, like, if you think there's going to be strife back and forth when you're working on a standard film where you're the actors, try working on a film where you're like this the entire time. You're going to get stressed out. It's going to happen. There's a lot that goes into puppeteering. But that is why the Jim Henson Company is what they did. Did what they did. They were outstanding. I don't know of any puppeteering company besides the Jim Henson Company that could have pulled this stuff off. And Jim Henson didn't just do the Muppets. The Jim Henson Company were the masterminds behind Labyrinth. Getting all of those ones done. Jim Henson Company did a lot for Sesame Street. And, what's that other... Oh, yeah. Jim Henson did the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle films. Part 1 and Part 2. And unfortunately, we lost Jim Henson during Part 2. That could be why they didn't do it for... They weren't on par for Turtles 3. But that's exactly why Turtles 3 looks as bad as it does. Jim Henson wasn't a part of it. So the turtle suits and animatronics had to be built again because Jim Henson wouldn't let that stuff go. I wouldn't blame him. I'd keep that stuff. My stuff is amazing. I'm not going to let it go. Sorry, I've got a cat around here annoying me. But yeah, if you haven't seen the Muppet Movie, or if you only have seen the new Muppet movies, stop. Stop right now. If you ever saw The Muppet Show on TV, where it was all about music and cameos and bringing everybody back in, then you need to see this. This is the one you want, okay? The Muppet Movie, the original. And if you turn it on, and it's not talking about how the Muppets are all getting into a theater to sit down and watch a movie about how the Muppets got together. stop and go and find the right movie. Okay? This is the one you need to see. And on Blu-ray quality, everything holds up. Kermit riding the bike down the street still looks great. You might be able to see the odd rod controller, the odd string holding a Muppet up. It doesn't matter, because the performance is there. The characters are there. The original voice actors, the original talent that made the Muppets what they are, is all here. And for bonus features, you're looking at Froggy-Okie. You're getting sing-along. Sorry? Cat scratching on the wall. You get Froggy-Okie sing-alongs. You get intermissions that happen. Like, if you pause this movie, things are going to happen on screen just because you're pausing the movie. That's a great little side thing to plug in here. And it makes you want to pause the movie and just sit there and watch it. You get Doc Hopper's commercials. You get an extended camera test to see what the Muppets would look like outside for the first time. You get the original trailers. You get a actual profile on Kermit the Frog in here, given to you by a talking prawn. But yeah, check this out. This is the Muppet movie that everyone needs to see. Well, that was it for Nerds of the North, and a 4-pack of films on Disney movies. So take care. Definitely, if you don't have these in your collection, they deserve to be there. Even if you only watch them once a year, okay, Disney is going to lock these up in the vault. And when they lock them up in the vault, if copies still remain out on the sales floor somewhere, good luck in getting your hands on them at a reasonable price. Because they're going to jump in price. They really are. And I know later on in the year we're going to have a couple more vault releases coming out. They're going to be worth it. It's worthwhile picking up and owning the vault movies. And if you only own them for the simple reason of one day you want to show them to your kids, that's the reason to own them. There is so much crap on today that they're passing off as children's entertainment. No. Go back to the classics. Go back to the stuff that entertained you as a child. And that's the stuff I'd recommend. Because that's the stuff where actual thought, actual effort, actual care went into making making entertaining material for kids. And that stuff didn't talk down to kids. Half the jokes in the Muppet movie, the kids are not going to understand. As they grow older, they will. And they'll laugh and figure just at the point of, how was that in a kid's movie? Why didn't we notice that? It's because you weren't into it. You didn't know what an innuendo was at the time. You might not have caught the reference. But it's worthwhile. So, take care everyone. Nerds of the North. More Blu-ray reviews on the way.